Yo, 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 yo! Welcome to the Slayer's Corner, first ever Mixer podcast. Yes. Slayer's Corner by Slayer OTG. Guys, I hope you're excited because today we have a special guest. A lot of members from On Top Gaming, all around Mixer know this man. Know him for all his mentorness. Know him for all his love, all his support. Let's all welcome KingBaileyBomb up in here. Let's go, baby. What's up, King? How are you doing?
I'm just chilling, man. Enjoying my time off, you know?
Yeah, time off. I know, man. I understand, man. First of all, myself from Slayer myself, man, I want to thank you for coming here. Accepting the invite to be the first person ever for a small podcast. Hopefully can make it big somewhere. And to help,
though.
Yeah, hey, you got to start from the beginning. We all started at one place at one time when we started streaming. And I seen you come a long way. I remember coming here in the Beam days. And I met a lot of people here. And you definitely with 121,000 plus followers right now. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Honestly, it's kind of mind-blowing, because I spent 2 years, when I first started streaming, trying to figure it all out and, do all that, and it took me over 2 years to get 600 followers. So, to see that scale of, having maybe one person stop by the stream once in a while to where it's at now, it's just like, it's mind-blowing. It really is, man. Like, I don't even know how to explain it other than that. Like, that's a lot of people, bro.
It is a lot of people. It is a lot of people. And you know one thing, as both partner streamers, as both people on the platform or Mixer, you notice a lot of people come in here, oh, I don't have no followers, I don't have views, but they don't understand. It's a grind. It is a grind. And if you have that mind frame that, oh, my first day streaming, I need to have 100 views or something like that. I'm playing an awesome game. I'm good at it. It took me a long time to get that view. And I just hit 9,000 followers. I might have 9,000 followers, but still.
Congratulations.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate it. But I still have that 20 or 30 people that are still loyal that come. And a lot of people don't understand it. And I tell them, don't give up, but don't go out either and pay $10,000 for a whole new system. Take baby steps. What do you think about that?
I give that same advice. Grow into it. So I guess was a little bit more fortunate when I first started because I worked for an IT company basically my whole life. So I already had all the nice computers and the whatever. So it was pretty easy for me to jump over. Plus I was streaming Xbox, so it's not like I needed a $600 graphics card or whatever, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it was hella easy. But I tell everybody that, man, start off with the basics. Do you play on Xbox already? Okay, and you want to stream on Mixer, Twitch, whatever? Just start it up. You know what I mean? Like, just start up with that. Just your gameplay. Work on creating a personality for yourself, being comfortable with yourself on, whether you have a camera or not. But it just grow into it, take it as it comes. And that's the best advice I can give, man. I streamed off of a laptop until I hit 100,000 followers.
Wow, that's amazing. Because when I first started, I turned on my Xbox one day and I looked over and I said, "What is Beam?" And then I started playing around. That's like start broadcast now. So I started. I saw like one person, two people, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." And then after a little while, I started meeting more people. I met Smash OTG, a lot of people that now that we're small, that we're all now partner streamers because we kept the grind going. And they told me, why don't you just get a Connect? Try Connect. And then guess what? I moved everything to the kitchen. No, the wife wasn't happy with that because she's like, when dinner time comes, that whole TV and console's going back where it goes. And I was I said, yes, ma'am, I will do that. But I started from there. And then I started doing research and talking to people, and then I did the next step, like you said. I got a computer, so I bought a laptop, just a Hewlett Packard. Went with that. Got a little small Elgato, hooked it up on there, and then started practicing, and then learning little, doing research, watching YouTube videos, watching other streamers, never self-promote myself, but when they get a chance, shoot them a message and say, hey, what do you think about this and that? And believe it or not, how great the mixer community is, you got such great feedback back. There's
For
people
sure.
that took time out their day to answer back, and I know you were one of them personally. I remember that.
And that's the cool part about having such a new platform that's trying to establish itself is we're all here for each other. So rather than having a huge gap in where everybody's at already in their career, we were all starting at the same place. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
I know exactly what you
it was
mean.
really nice. It was really nice.
You know,
and timing too. Timing was big.
It was, and I agree, especially with that switch over from Beam to Mixer when Microsoft took over. It was like, boom, now you have more opportunity that's opened the doors for a lot of people.
100%.
Now, let me ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Out of your career, like, did you just one day wake up and say, I'm going to start streaming? Or was there somebody before KingBaileyBomb, or?
So, yes and no. So the short answer, I guess, is yes. I've always wanted to be an entertainer of some sort.
Gotcha.
Didn't matter how it was going to be done. I wanted to be a WWE wrestler, well, WWF back when I was watching it.
I could see you doing
I
it
wanted
too.
to be a wrestler.
I could see it.
I wanted to be like an entertainer. I looked up to Shawn Michaels, Jeff Hardy, Bret Hart. These dudes were they were very entertaining to watch. And then later on, I saw it moving towards personality rather than just the moves and stuff they did. So then you had The Rock and Stone Cold and all these people that were evolving like characters. And I was like, oh my God, that's a whole nother level to me. You know what I mean? I'm just used to watching them jump off ladders and break stuff, and
yeah, especially the Hardy Boys.
Like, okay, that's cool. So when I was younger, I was like, I want to do that kind of stuff. So I used to do backyard wrestling and stuff like that, and that's where the Skype name came from. Was we used to do backyard wrestling and stuff like that, and stunts, back in the Jackass days.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, bro.
Do we have it? Do we have old videos? Could we see old videos of this?
I took a lot of them down when I got to where I am, because I was young, I was dumb. So I took a lot of them down because we were your regular 16-year-old kids that were trying to rebel against everything. So we were breaking things, spray painting things, doing everything you're not supposed to do, okay, kids? Don't do that. But
when we get older, we learn.
We were wild when we were younger, and I mean the whole thing ain't no party like a Bailey Bomb party. That was legitimately said when we were younger, because we were nuts. It was never drinking or drugs or any of that. It was just, we were crazy.
Yeah.
And we were always the fun poppin' time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly.
So even from that, relating to school and high school and all that stuff, I was the dude that was in every group. You couldn't just be oh, Bailey hangs out with such and such clique, because I was just that little butterfly. You know what I mean? So everybody always said, you need to be an entertainer. You need to be somebody, that does something with it. Don't just waste it, And so we were playing Call of Duty one night, me and a couple buddies, and we used to have a clan or whatever on Call of Duty.
I remember those Call of Duty clan wars. I remember those.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I remember that.
We were called Skag Gaming, or SGC is what we called ourselves, Skag Gaming Community. And this is way back, man. I'm talking when Modern Warfare 2 was first coming out, up until recently. But we all made the pledge with each other. We were all right, there's there was 60 something of us. There's a lot of people. And we're all all right, we're gonna go buy capture cards. We're gonna upload to YouTube of our sick throwing knife kills and no scopes and quick scopes and all this stuff you see on YouTube. We saw FaZe Clan jumping off of roofs doing 8 spins and quick scoping somebody, and we were we can do that. So, we started doing trick shots and stuff like that and uploading them to YouTube. We had no idea what we were doing. We were kind of just going with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, my Call of Duty gameplay's sick. Like, I want it to be on the internet. Everybody's going to know me for it. How many of y'all know me for playing Call of Duty?
But everybody knows you from PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, though.
Valid.
So everybody knows
like,
you.
You know what I mean, though? It was like, it's such a weird, like, thing to understand, because you think you're really good at something, and it can start you, but then you got to figure out, you know, you got to triple down on what you're really good at. You know what I mean? Not what you just think you're good at.
Yeah, and I agree 100%.
That hit home. Yeah, you know, that hit home like crazy, because I was like, my gameplay is sick. And now I got people coming in, and they're like, we don't care about your gameplay. We're just here to talk to you. And I'm like,
but you got to understand, you are a great entertainer. When I come to your stream and just watch you, I might have a bad day, but you might say something, do something crazy, and they'll just put a smile and make me laugh, and I'm like, yo, my day is good now. I'm good. My day is good. So, I mean, you got to give yourself a pat on the back on that, because what I've seen you done with the young community, to the middle-aged community, to the grown adults like us, you have turned that around, and you made it fun again. You made that gaming fun. And a lot of people take it so serious sometimes. They're like, oh, it's about competitive. That's an esports event. When it comes to streaming and having fun, I try to tell a lot of people, it's all about having fun. Once you let that stress level get to you, it can get to you. And sometimes you do have to back away. And
I've been after the past 3 weeks, bro. I think I've streamed twice in the past 3 weeks.
Because you got to take a break and maybe go on a little mini vacation and then come back and then be like,
my
boom.
mental, man, you know?
Exactly. Because it's like a job too. I mean, it is a job.
100%.
So
100%.
And I mean, I can't say about your background, but like mine, you know, I work a full-time job. I have a daughter, I have a wife, and my days that I'm off, I have to commit my time for my family, because it's not just me sacrificing, they're sacrificing their time also, because they back away, they give me my 5 or 6 hours and say, let my husband do what he does.
Right.
So big props to my wife, definitely.
That's kind of how it started with me. I was working an IT job. Like I said, I had it forever. And I worked my IT job essentially 40 to 60 hours. I was on call 24 hours a day, but it didn't matter. It was like 40 to 60 hours a week. I was trying to stream 40 hours a week, and I was still trying to have a life and sleep. So I found myself, when I first started streaming, man, I found myself going off of 3-4 hours of sleep every day. And that's with working, that's with, you know, everything. And then I slowly started sacrificing like all of my social life. So all my friends around here, you know, even hanging out with family, it just became non-existent.
Like, yeah.
I had 3 roommates at the time, and I think I maybe talked to them twice a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I isolated myself so much, and it don't do that. Please don't do that. It's so bad for you. You know, and I'm feeling the toll of all of it now. So here we are 3 years later, and now I'm like, what did I do? You know? Now, don't get me wrong, full-time streaming and having this be my career that's a dream right there. That's a dream come true. And for a lot of people, but you don't understand how much sacrifice and what you have to do to get to that.
Exactly.
Which is just, it's so tough, man. Like I said, I look back at Facebook memories, you know, they pop up and they're like, oh, 3 years ago you did this.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
My roommate was like, posted something on Facebook being like, when you hear your roommate talking about snack packs and all this, because like I had a snack pack, you know, little pudding things, and I dropped the top of it, like the wrapper, and it landed face down on my floor. And so like the pudding got all over the floor, and like I was just complaining about it while playing Call of Duty and streaming. And like that's all, those are like the memories I have, are my roommates posting Facebook statuses about me, not necessarily hanging out with my roommates.
But they can hear you. They hear you through the walls, and they're like, his dang snap packs.
Right.
Well, hold on, before snap, what was your favorite one? What was your favorite one?
Oh man, bro, I am a huge fan of the chocolate pudding and the vanilla pudding mix.
Oh, the mix, yes. Oh,
whatever. Oh,
Oh man.
Same with ice cream too, man. Chocolate vanilla swirl, bro, is
No,
too
what
good.
is it? Butterscotch. Ooh, yes,
Okay.
sir. That
Okay.
butterscotch. Yes, 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 yes. So
I see you.
we talked about the overwhelming and the things that can happen in streaming, and I'm happy you got to say that, because a lot of people don't, when you hear from one person, they're like, he don't know what he's talking about. He's a streamer. He's rich. He's got money. Nah, fam. Nah, fam. It doesn't work like that. We work for every streamer here. Works
so often.
No, it's not like that. There's everything that streamers have. They have worked hard for. They had to pay for everything. It's not little care packages streamers get, is little small things. Little small things to give away to the community. And a lot of streamers here on Mixer itself. I can't speak for any platforms. I can speak for Mixer because this is where I'm mostly at. I do watch people on Twitch too, because I show support to no matter what platform. An entertainer is an entertainer. It doesn't matter to me. But here at Mixer, I know a lot of streamers use whatever income they do and they give back to their community. That comes out of their pocket. A lot of streamers here. And since we're talking about the overwhelming of streamers, what is the most common reason you think people are failing, or the reason they're giving up on streaming? What makes you think that, like, one day they're doing good and the next day they're gone, they disappear?
The dedication it takes to make it anywhere. And it's a really personally, this is what I think. It's a really harsh reality. And I talk about this a lot, to understand the fact that something you give so much to is someone else's pastime.
Mm-hmm.
So you're giving your heart, you're literally tears at some point, and the dedication and everything to trying to stick to the schedule, to try to build this community, to try to be there for the people in your community, and doing all this to know that one day they could just be like, I don't need Mixer anymore.
Yeah.
And they're gone. And I think that alone is like, it's like heartbreaking. Because some of these people you invest so much time in, and don't get me wrong, you're investing time in YouTube by watching your streams and being there and doing all that. But as a streamer, you're split in so many directions, trying to be dedicated to your community. And sometimes it doesn't work out the way you think it would.
Yeah.
And people are people, man. So they got lives, they have wives and husbands and partners, whatever they got going on. So no, your stream isn't that important to them. It's a pastime. It's something they do when they have downtime. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
And it's a hard pill to swallow. It really, really is. And I feel like that's one of my biggest things too, that I still, I guess, battle with, is the fact that knowing, regardless of how much time and effort I put in, some people just won't be here anymore,
Yeah,
so.
and that's true, and that is very true. That is 100% true. We see it every day. We see it every day. But the thing is, even here from Bailey or myself, even big corporations see the same thing too. Everybody sees that. Everybody will come and go. And then the thing is, I hate to say it, but it's like the Lion King. It's a circle of life. It's the way life is. And talking about Mangear, how you guys doing today, Mangear?
What's up, Mangear?
And that's one thing, I mean, that I can say. I had things in my life that was unbelievable that happened to me. And, talking about Mangear, being a partner with Mangear, and I know you're a partner with Mangear, being a partner with Mixer, working with Victorious Gaming, and I love working with Victorious Eyewear. I love working with Victorious Eyewear because it's a veteran-owned company, matter of fact. The guy just got out the military, and he started gaming glasses, and they're amazing. And he threw me some, said, check him out, and I loved them. And then there's so many amazing things that has happened to me that I never thought in my life it would happen. Not with that one day I started with the living room streaming.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy. and my most memorable moment in my life was two things that happened when I got partnered with Main Gear and when I got partnered with Mixer. Those are the best things that ever happened in my life. And what about you? At your whole time streaming and everything, what's been the most memorable of them all?
I would probably say the first Mixer community champion was like.
You know what? I was there. I was there.
That took me so off guard. It was like, because they called me, you know, they were like, hey, you want to come to the Mixer Studios, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, sure. And they're like, do you want to be in like a little fun PUBG tournament we're putting together? I was like, oh, so they're just calling me because I'm a PUBG player or whatever. Yeah, cool, I'm with it. You know what I mean? And I, you know, being there and being a part of it, I had so many other very, very talented individuals standing right next to me when I got that award. And, you know, they're saying all these things and I'm looking around like, oh, that fits all those people right there. That fits that person. And they said me, and I was like,
you're like, hold the brakes. Remix.
Yeah, like, hold on. Can you say that one more time? Like, can you bring that back? You know, and it was just like, I don't know, man. It just, because and a little backstory behind it. You know, growing up, I've always been into sports and stuff like that, but never seriously. So like, I've never won a trophy, award, or anything for anything in my life.
So it was mind blowing.
So this is the first thing I'd ever won, and like they gave me like a little plaque and stuff. I don't know if you can see that, but so it says like KingBaileyBomb on it. It's got the Mixer logo and everything. But, like, I've never received an award before in my life, so that was just like, I don't know, man. It was just another level for me. Like,
was it a tearjerker?
What's that?
Was it a tearjerker?
Oh, bro, straight up, bro. I started crying on the set. And I was just like, can you like take the camera off me, bro? Like, and you know, we started joking about it, and I was like, oh, my allergies all of a sudden, you know. But it was, I don't know, man. It's just an experience I've never had before, and it was just so different because, one, it was my first time ever receiving an award, and two, it was the first one ever on Mixer, period. So, like, I know it sounds crazy, but nobody could take that. That's one of a kind.
Yeah.
The first. I mean, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I just sat there for days, like, how did, like, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, we've been saying it already the whole podcast. You are known here at Mixer as a mentor, the guy. The one that cheer up a fan when their bad days are going on. And like I said, you have to give yourself a pat on the back. When I messaged you and I was like, hey, would you like to be on my first podcast? When you told me yeah, you should have just felt the chills in my body. It's like, oh, hell yeah. I was like, yo, I'm gonna have the king in here. And you know, talking about the king, let me ask you one question. Where does the crown come from? Where does the crown come from? Did you get it? Did someone give it to you? Or did you go to Bird King? I always been wanting to ask you that.
It's a pretty funny story behind all of it, bro. So the reason the crown was purchased in the first place is because there was a game on Xbox that me and a couple buddies played off stream, just messing around, trying to find something new to mess with. And it was a game called Chivalry. And essentially it's medieval warfare. So you have like shields and swords and you're like battle axes and you're just straight up fighting. And we were like picking on the people because like there's like proximity chat. And these people were playing it like it was straight up medieval times.
So they were role playing.
Like you can't just run up and jump somebody or they get like super upset. Because like, you know, me and my boys were running up with like axes and we're all just beating this dude down. And they got straight up upset. And they were like, where's your code of honor? And I'm like, what? So if you ever play Chivalry, don't jump somebody.
Make a note of that, chat. Make a note of that. You heard it from the king himself. Don't jump nobody.
Yeah, right. So I was doing something funny for literally just for my friends. I didn't even really have like a crazy following or community or anything yet. I was just doing it for my friends. I went and bought a King Arthur costume off Amazon. And I was wearing it one night while we were playing Chivalry. And I was like, yo, guys, go check out my stream. Pop. And I had this whole get up on. And, you know, we all got to laugh at it. We're all having a fun time playing this, you know, silly game. And actually, it's not even silly. It's a mad fun game. But just it's not a game that you would normally hear people talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I actually want to check out. You said it was on console?
Yeah, it's called Chivalry. I think it's on PC too.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Chivalry Medieval Warfare. But essentially, so I did that just as a joke. Literally wore it once, threw it, you know, in my closet as like a whatever. Maybe I'll wear it for Halloween one year or something. And when I hit 10,000 followers, I was co-streaming with another partner streamer. Her name's Nixie. I was co-streaming with her, and she was like, oh my god, 10,000 followers, we have to party, we have to go above and beyond, you know, because it was a huge deal back then, you know. This is before, you know, people were actually hitting 10,000 followers.
Like 20 views back then, 10,000 followers was huge. That's like
right,
30 million now, you know what I mean?
Right, so we were all freaking out, and we're like, okay, let's party, let's do this. So she went and got a masquerade mask and put it on, like, during our co-stream while we're playing Battlefield and, like, messing around and doing all that stuff. And she was like, where's yours? And I was like, I don't just have stuff laying around like that. And she was like, you don't have anything? And I was like, hold up. Wait a minute. So I went out, grabbed the crown, put it on, came back. We literally streamed and like partied all night. And then the next day, I started my stream up at, you know, normal time, whatever. And I didn't have the crown on or anything, and I had people coming in asking, hey, where's the crown? And I was like, oh, snap. Like, that's something very marketable, and I didn't even think about it. And at this time, I was the Bailey Bomb. So it wasn't King Bailey Bomb. And I was like, that's crazy marketing that I never even thought of, or, you know, it's almost just like a prop. You know what I mean? It doesn't change anything, it's just a prop. And ever since then, bro, I think I've taken it off maybe a total of 5 streams.
It looks good on you. I mean,
hey, thank you.
I mean, it's your trademark. You know what I mean?
Actually, the second crown. So not that, you know, I'm weird or nothing, but like the first crown was like bronze. So after, you know, bronze, silver. So at 100,000 followers, we changed to a silver crown.
So we going for a gold crown?
What's up?
Are we going for a gold crown?
We're going for it.
What is it to have a gold crown?
I'm thinking 500K.
500K. So if you guys do not hear that now, and if you're here from my community and you don't know, what is your link again? For Mixer, yeah, he's got Mixer. Yeah, he has YouTube, Instagram, Twitter.
Everything's at KingBaileyBomb, other than YouTube is the Bailey Bomb. So you can't change that.
Yep. So make sure, one of the mods, please put that in chat and make sure you guys hit him with that follow, because we're gonna push him to his 500,000, and I want to see that gold crown on him because he deserves it.
And at PAX, I do let people wear the crown too, so you can run around PAX with it. Bro, biggest request at PAX West last year, bro. Everybody, yo, can I wear the crown just like a minute? Just like a minute.
Can I just touch it? You know? Just one finger, just one finger.
They would start taking selfies and, you know, all this stuff, and I'm like, that's lit. Just straight up, that's lit.
You know what? I haven't been to a PAX yet. Me and the wife are talking about going either to East or West next year, so I'm hoping.
Go to East, bro. I'll be there.
Hey, I'm hoping that we can do it. And everything, because, you know, I want to make sure I get the whole family there, because I want my daughter to go. I want her to experience that. She's young, but I want her to experience that, so when she gets older, she's like, I've been to one before. Yeah. There's so many things that we go through, and everybody just like, oh, he's just going through something, but they don't really know the life of us. They like you said earlier, we're entertainers. There's some streamers here who, when they stream, their whole personality is different. They come into a character. Dr. Disrespect off of Twitch. Yep. He's a different character. And I'm sure he's a different person outside the world, but that's his character. That's who made him. And that's how he is. Yourself, you wear the crown. Yep. And you're known as the king. You know what I mean? So that's that character. Yep. Myself, I always wear a hat. Yep. Once in a while, I'll take a hat when it gets hot in this game room, because you know when the PC start running, you just like, whoo, turn on the AC around here. But on your days off, what do you sit and do? Like, I know a lot of streamers on their days off, they're steady working in their studio. They are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, a lot of it is still networking, still keeping up with. The reason I take days off is so I can hang out with the people that take the time to hang out with me.
Gotcha.
And which is still very hard to do, especially when you have an outside life as well. But if we put like gaming and streaming and everything aside, I love to work on cars. I have an Audi TT I'm working on right now. Actually,
ooh, I love Audis.
Right before this. And honestly, it's funny. So like growing up, I never really had like, I guess, crazy like hobbies like cars or computers or anything like that. Not even really gaming. I never really had anything. So I was driving with a friend of mine, and her tire popped, and I didn't know how to change it. I didn't know how to put the spare tire on. And mind you, I think I was like 15, 16, and like right around the time of getting my own license and all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how to change it. So we had to call somebody else to show up to change the tire on her car. And I was like, that is the worst feeling in the world. So I went up, straight up, bought a Volvo 850 off of Craigslist for like $600. Literally ripped it entirely apart in my driveway, put it all back together. It started up, and I was like, we're good. Now, mind you, it was a process over a couple weeks. But it was like, I don't know. I guess that's one of my only real hobbies that stuck with me. I've always been into cameras and, things like that, wanting to be an entertainer. I got into photography, cinematography, doing a lot with lighting and green screens and this and that, just out of my home, just messing around. So I feel like those hobbies sort of tied into all this, you know what I mean? So I had my gameplay, which I've always been a gamer. I had my photography and cinematography that I never took classes or anything. I just, got into it by doing it.
Yeah. That's like my wife. Like my wife YouTubes and Googles her photographies. That's how she learned.
Yep. But that's the thing. If you can take all that stuff that you enjoy doing and put it into a career, why not?
You got something. We take my daughter every once in a while, holidays, like special moments, like the pumpkin patches, sunflower fields and stuff like that. And we get a, photographer off Facebook and stuff like that who sell it. I mean, you talking about 50, 70, $100 to do 10, 20 photos. So you talk about eight appointments a day, 8-hour day. You're talking about $800 in your pocket. So, I mean, there's always a career in something, and it's like you said, you set your mind towards it, you have your goal, and you have a dream, and just don't give up. No matter what in life, everybody in life, you're going to have your downfall. No matter what. It depends on how you're going to pick yourself up. No matter what. And I know you can agree with that 100%.
Yep. My biggest one was when I made the switch from Twitch to Mixer, or Beam at the time. Bro, I was straight up. I was like, this is my last stream. I'm only streaming to tell the people that took the time to show up that I wasn't going to be streaming anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And now partner streamer and everything. His name's Faux Daddy. He came in, and it was like, I didn't know what a raid was. I didn't know what any of that stuff was. And they came in, and he was still streaming, but everybody from his community came over into my stream and started watching and talking and engaging and all this stuff. And I was like, And I was just like thrown off by it. And he was like, "Yo, bro, like keep it up. Like you're really good at what you're doing." And I was like, "What? Whose man's is this? You know?" Like, and that kept me here. You know, I was literally just ready to call it quits, man. Less than 100 followers. I was ready to be like, you know, I don't want to dedicate the time to it. And here I am 2 years later, or 2.5 years since that.
Hey, I've done the same way too. There's days now that I'm like, why? I get home from work and I'm like, I'm so tired. But you know, the community is there, because even if there's days where I have, like, it's like a bug sometimes happens where you only get like 5 or 10. You're like, where's everybody at? But they're there. Yeah. But like, you know, there's a lot of people don't understand. I don't call my lurkers out. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people, even including myself, I like just to watch.
Yeah.
I'll chit chat every once in a while, I'll say something, but I just like to watch. I like to see the gameplay. I like to see the entertainment. I mean, I love lurkers. They're there all day long because they're the ones that are always there. But there's some days that I know.
I have people in my chat that pop up level 40 something. Never talked to them in my life, and I'm like,
that lurk. They're getting that lurk mode.
Hey, what? Yeah, what?
But no, go ahead.
People enjoy it.
Yeah, they do, and like I have met so many great people, just like right here in chat now. We have Manger, we have QB in here, we have Porky, we have DZ, we have Ice in here. Ice is actually a game developer. I mean, DZ, he streams on. He used to be here on Mixer. He's the partner streamer on Twitch.
Yo, DZ's the man.
DZ is the man. He's a great mentor. I mean, I remember when he invited me to his podcast, and I loved it. And believe it or not, this is what I always talked about it, but I was always scared. And it was not being scared. It's just like I was scared in my mind to be stuck at that "what do I do" moment. Who do I ask?
Comfort zone, man.
And
best way to grow on anything, get out of your comfort zone. That's a life lesson, not even a streaming lesson.
No, and you and
out of your comfort zone.
And you and you know, and me, I did 8 years in the military. I was right here. I'm still in the same place I got out of the military, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I live right here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I only pretty much got out because I got tired of deploying. And then also I got injured while I was in Iraq. But never in my, I mean, I've been gaming for a long time. Since the Nintendo days with the cartridges, and you're over here blowing, tapping the Nintendos like, yo, can you work? And playing Duck Duck with a little Nintendo gun and stuff, and like, I'm gonna get close to the TV to go ahead and that's my cheat code. You remember them days? And
oh yeah, man. Yeah, I the first game I ever actually remember playing and like dedicated to it was Lotus. I believe it was Sega Genesis. Straight up Lotus, bro. It was the lamest racing game you'll ever play in your life, but it was a blast.
Imagine the graphics.
To drive and get to a checkpoint to be able to get to another checkpoint. That was it.
Man, and you know, just imagine how technology is now with games. I mean, we're in 4K. I mean, now you got, what is it, Samsung that just dropped the 8K TV? That's like really expensive. Imagine the technology now compared where it was when we were playing Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64.
I went back to PlayStation 2 to mess with SOCOM because that's what got me into shooters. I was looking at the graphics. I was like, bro, how did I see anybody? Like, how did I even play this game ever?
It does, man, because you know, my brother-in-law, he made what's the thing called, Blueberry or something like that, and he put the old games in there and everything like that, and I played it, and I was like, how did I play Super Mario's back in these days? How did I do this?
Yeah, man, comes a long way.
It does.
You know?
It does.
But that's a lesson right there too, though, man. The evolution and the ever-changing of technology. You know, as streamers and influencers or whatever you want to call it, personalities, you got to do that too. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
If you just stick to the same thing over and over and over and over, it's like, how do you grow? You know?
You know.
So.
I know you're talking about networking when your day's off, and I want to go to an experience that I actually happened this week with me. So I applied for. They were looking for ambassadors to run a webcam just like we have now. They almost look like was it GoPros. I'm like, cool,
Okay.
I'll check them out. I apply. They send me an email back a couple days later. Hey, you've been approved. But you get 3 webcams and they were like $400 a piece for free.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Love the lights. I do love your setup because I know you worked hard on that. I remember when you were like, hey, look, working on my game room, boom, boom, boom.
It means somebody resub.
And I went through and I looked at everything and I went to the website and I was like, man, something just don't seem right. $1,200 of items for free and I just paid for $60 shipping. And there was a number at the end, so I called the number and then just went to some bogus phone number. And I called the email, no email back, and I said, let me back away. This seems fishy. But one thing I want to tell, and King can tell you have to watch who you network with. And you also have to be professional of what you do because your name speaks for itself.
100%.
And like I said, I'm not naming no names on that company. I mean, you guys probably find out. Hopefully you guys are reading anything. But like I said, it is very... You have to be careful out there because you don't know. There could be some people scamming, and there's not. This is a scam world. The internet is a scam world.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, and they hate that it's like that.
I literally just tried, again, no name dropping. I just tried to do some clothing line stuff, and paid $100 for their catalog.
No catalog.
Never got anything. Never got an email back. They had a Facebook page, so I hit their Facebook page up. Now, seems a little crazy, but I hit it up 3 times and saw that they read each message each day, and that was it. So
that's bad business.
They read my messages, never got back to me, took my $100 and dipped.
That's and that's things that can happen. I mean, one thing I recommend to you small streamers, any big streamers, just my recommendation. Always use one of those prepaid credit cards when you want to do business like that.
Yeah.
And if you do use your own debit or your credit card and you feel fishy about it, make sure you call your banks and go get things changed up.
Yeah, and just use a credit card. Don't use your debit card for anything ever.
No, ever.
Just don't use your debit card. Like, don't. I'm telling you. I know from experience. I've actually had multiple occasions where even just going to gas pumps with my debit card and putting it in the gas pump and getting gas, having my credit card information taken from like one of those little plastic things that they put inside there.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. They tell you if the seal's broken, don't use it and stuff like that.
Yep. And I got a call from my bank. Actually, really funny. I was trying to donate to a streamer, and it kept declining it, and I was like,
"I got money, son. I got money."
You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's $25. So I called the bank, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we canceled your card. Sorry." And I was like, "And you weren't gonna tell me?"
The banks don't do nothing.
I was like, "Okay, so what happened?" And they were like, "Oh, well, somebody," because I live in Massachusetts. They were like, somebody just spent $150 at some clothing store in Connecticut, and then they spent another like $100-something at a grocery store in New York.
Oh man.
And trust me, I got upset. I was like, oh man, that's like $250 or whatever it was. Ended up being like close to $300. I was like, that's tough. Like, I can't, eat that right now. Literally, I can't eat because $300 is gone. So I was like freaking out, but like then I kind of thought about it, and whoever stole that bought clothes and food. They were obviously in a way worse position than I was. Not that it's okay, but like I just wasn't as upset. You know what I mean? Just like realizing that they were just buying basic human needs. You know what I mean? Yeah. It'd be different if they were at like, GameStop or
I know exactly what you mean.
But it just kind of put it into perspective for me, and I went to the bank and they gave all the money back and canceled all the cards and all that stuff. But like, it's just because I went out using my debit card everywhere. They said if it was a credit card, they could have stopped it basically before it even happened. So just watch out with those debit cards, man.
Oh yeah, and DZ, and I remember him talking about this on his podcast too. If you have PayPal make sure you give them a call and document with them that you are a broadcaster, because it will help out for what's it called? Oh, for chargebacks, and believe it or not, people, there is trolls around there that will be like, here's $1,000 donation, and then they'll call and cancel it, and guess who's stuck paying that $1,000? The streamer.
I actually had a pretty bad experience with that, and it was a kid that thought he was just helping. You know, he apparently had his parents' credit card or something like that. He donated $150, or I think it was $150, something like that. It was like $150, $200, something like that, over the course of, I think it was 10 transactions. And then all of them got charged back. So every chargeback, you get like a $15 penalty.
Yeah.
That you owe. So I owed like another $150 on top of that, just because of the chargeback.
Wow.
So yeah, it's scary, bro. It never happened to me before either. It just out of the blue. Like I just got alert in Streamlabs just over and over and over and over that they're all charged back, and I was like,
what do you do?
Like, what the hell? I didn't even know what a chargeback was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Cause I mean, like me, and you said you're in the IT field and stuff, and I work utilities. I work underground. I'm a foreman. I work with natural gas pipelines, you know, putting in people's houses, commercial buildings and stuff like that. And my full-time money I make is to pay my bills. And whatever I make here streaming, I turn that right back and give it to the community for giveaways, or, hey, you want a sub? Got you. Here you go. You know, I turn that back around. But when you get that charge back and you're like, now I got to take this from my family because somebody wants to troll me or accidentally did it. One thing I always say, if you accidentally did it, let the streamer know. I'm sure they'll return that money back.
100%.
If you let that streamer know, because it will help them in the long run because of the chargebacks. They can wait until it gets to the account and they be like, okay, well, here's your money back for it. And I understand that. Just let that streamer know. Now, here on Mixer, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Gaming, any platforms, there's always trolls. Trolls who love to ruin somebody's day or anything. What is your suggestions for how long you've been doing this? What do you recommend of how people should handle that? Or what should they do? I mean, we know Mixer has cat, and we know you can report it and everything like that. Well, how should they handle it?
You know, it's different for everybody. It's different for every community too.
Mm-hmm.
I know some streamers that are successful with fighting trolls by trolling them back, which I don't personally do. I don't really like it. But some people do that. And their community digs it, and they all jump in on it. But that's just kind of like not a form of bullying, I guess, but it's like, I don't know, it's just everybody ganging up on one person because they said something stupid in chat. It's just kind of, you know, that's a yikes from me. And so what I do is, because I've been there, bro. I've been new to a platform, not knowing what I'm talking about or doing or whatever, and I've been trolly, you know what I mean? Even with some of my boys, I've been trolly. And, you know, I got timed out by Hype Zone in my buddy's chat because I was trolling him because he lost. And you know, so Mixer definitely has some cool stuff to, you know, fight it. But what I personally do, man, is I know people have bad days. People, some are very young, don't know any better. But you can mold a troll into somebody that can actually be in, you know, a good part of your community. And I have one example I'll always go back to because I think it's the funniest thing in the world. There was a guy that used to come into my stream when I played Fortnite, and his name was Bowl of Poop. That was his name.
I love that name, though. I don't mean to laugh, but I love the name.
Bowl of Poop. Bro, I'm telling you, within the first 5 minutes of me starting my stream, every day, he'd be in there spamming the letter Y. And then my mods would time him out, and then he wouldn't do it anymore. Come back the next morning. Why? So finally I was like, bro, like, I was like, you know, mods, can you untime him out? And I was like, why do you come in here to spam Ys every day? You like being here. Why are you doing that? You know? He's like, I don't know, I'm bored. I was like, okay. So, you know, I was like, how about you come play a game of Fortnite with me? I didn't know anything about him. I was like, all right. So he comes in. He's you know, and that's not his actual name. Bulletpoop is, there's like numbers and stuff after it. But anyway, so Bulletpoop joins my party, and I'm thinking it's gonna be, you know, some young kid, and a dude in college going for his master's. You know, just was bored between classes and wanted to play Fortnite. So I'm sitting here talking to him and vibing with him and whatnot, and I don't know, man. Like, he'll still to this day he'll come in and do it. And this was back like a year and a half ago.
Well, he do that because that's like your memory together, though.
But now that's like our thing, you know. And now he'll come in, he'll just put Y like once or twice instead of a list until he gets timed out. You know, but it's like he was just bored. It doesn't mean he's not a good part of the community now. He was just bored and was trolling. So it's like you can take people and mold them.
You can.
You know, into a contributing part of your community. So a lot of people, you know, I'll be in their streams watching or whatever, and it's just like banned. Bro, I literally, you could check my banned list on Mixer. Nobody.
Oh, wow.
I have never banned a single person from my stream. Because the way I look at it is if you time them out for a week and they come back next week, usually they're changed. Usually they're like, okay, I understand I did something crazy.
You know what?
If it's that bad, Mixer already took care of it.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Because we do all the things you're supposed to do. You report things that are, you know, against TOS, against whatever, you know, is going on. Bro, literally, like with my mods, what I tell them to do is when they time somebody out, you time them out for 5 minutes, right? Because that's like the default, like timeout, 5 minutes. I tell them every time you have to time somebody out, add a 5 to that sequence. So first is 5 minutes, then 55 minutes, then 555 minutes, 5,555 minutes.
That is.
And after that, I've never timed somebody out past 5,555 minutes. And if they do come back, they usually say sorry.
Yeah. That is.
I've never banned anybody.
I'm like DZ and QB. I have been banhammer. You know, when it goes crazy, but that actually makes total sense.
I mean, is it doing anything in the long run? I have no idea. It's just how I feel about it.
I mean, I'm actually gonna take that information you just put, and I'm actually gonna put that to her.
Run with it, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna run with that. I'm gonna run that to a marathon right there. I mean, just adding 5, and once you get to 5,555, that's a wrap. And if they come back, they come back. If not, they don't. Everybody's like, how much is the crown? They need it.
The crown, you can get them for like $50 on Amazon.
We're working on getting him a gold crown. We need to get him a gold crown.
Yeah.
And I want to stop this right now. First of all, I want to thank DZ Live for coming in here and dropping a $10 donation. Brother, I appreciate you, man. Like Bailey and everybody else that I mess with, that I message with, that we talk on a regular basis. You guys have all been my mentor from the beginning, man. And you guys know that.
He said no charge back.
I mean, yo, it's been so good having you, man, for the first podcast I ever done. I think this has gone well for the Slayer's Corner.
100%, man. And I'm the type of person that could talk for like multiple hours about this.
Yo,
that's how passionate I am about it. So.
Yo, I'm a big talker. Sometimes, you know, when I message Brent, I'm like, Brent, I'm sorry, man. I'm a talker, bro. I'm a talker, Brent. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh. And like, you know, let me ask you a question. When you see, what do you think there's an age to streaming? Do you think it's too old?
According to TOS, 13 plus.
Yeah. We know Mixer. Yeah, we got you. We got you covered, Mixer.
But no. No, I don't believe age is a thing on here. I don't believe you could be too young, too old, too anything. I mean, look at that YouTuber. I forgot his name. It's a very young kid. He reviews toys. Biggest YouTuber there is.
Yeah, my daughter watched YouTube Kids like it's nothing. I'm like, baby, why don't you want to watch your dad? She watches YouTube Kids.
Right. And but then you could even go the opposite side of the spectrum of like, to be honest, and I know this may sound a little weird, but like when it's somebody older, you know, whether it's like 50s, 60s, like whatever it may be, I just like hearing their stories rather than necessarily anything else.
That's what I love too.
They've been through it, bro. They've been through the mud. They've been through everything already. So just hearing their different experiences and things like that, I love it. So I can't say that, you know, there's an age to it because everybody has something interesting about them, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
It's just finding it, tapping into it, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm big on like people watching and, you know, like all that kind of stuff. So just hearing their stories too is just so awesome.
I'm the same way too. I love hearing stories about people's life because you can take the things that happen and you could try to turn that around for your own life. And you know, I've been through a lot in my life itself. And I have seen other people been through a lot. I have even seen it here on Mixer. I seen it everywhere. My daughter even streams with me every once in a while, but I'm here with her. Because believe it or not, there is crazy people on the internet. So I'm here to making sure, because I run an 18 plus stream, but when I'm with my daughter, I make sure I keep it family friendly or teen friendly. I watch what I say and make sure, and my moms, they know, I'll be like, hey, I'm streaming with my daughter today. She's going to be right here with me. And we're going to play a little bit of Roblox and stuff like that. So we'll get on Roblox because that's her game, but she loves YouTube Kids. She watches, I think it's this gamer girl or something like that. She plays Roblox like crazy, and that's her favorite thing to do. Roblox is her game, and I know Roblox is your game. I know when you get the kids in there.
So,
and look,
I used to, as like a joke with the community, but as well as like something different with Roblox. I used to play Roblox every Saturday morning. To be like the babysitter for the morning. So all my subs and everything, their kids would come play Roblox with me every Saturday morning.
That's a cool idea.
It's just a fun, cool thing to do with the community, man. You know, and it goes very far with parents because now not only do you entertain them, but now you're entertaining their kids. And you know, and it's not like it's anything crazy either. You know what I mean? Like I'm just standing there in Roblox and they're all just jumping on my head. Like I could hardly ever play any of the games in Roblox because they're just jumping on me.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it's just something fun to do with your community, especially a younger crowd. And it keeps the kids off the parents' back for a little bit in the morning, you know? And then
that's what brings you more family oriented because you play with the adults in the evening time. And then you grab their kids and you play with them too. So it keeps that family. So now when that kid gets older, they're going to know you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. And that's what I'm saying that you remember we talked about
business wise than I thought.
Yeah. I mean, you remember you talked about you weren't known probably when you did the 360s with the no scopes or anything back then.
Yeah.
And then now look where you're at. You know, you have accomplished a lot in your life. And like I said, you should give yourself a pat on the back on that and be so proud of yourself. And your community is always there. Every time I come, the community is there for you. No matter if you lose a million games, no matter what, they're there for your entertainment. And that's what makes a great entertainer. And like when we were talking about DZ's daughter, 14 years old, she streams and he's 44. So it's that family thing that keeps going. And that's what makes entertainment amazing. My wife, she doesn't play video games at all. She doesn't play video games except maybe when we get the Super Mario out, the old school. We'll play that together and stuff like that. But she don't play any of these new games. My daughter and me are the gamers in the family. And I'm starting to get more into PC gaming. You know, thanks to the beautiful Main Gear PC I got. That thing's a beast.
There you go.
Just saying, but I never PC game at all. Keyboard and mouse were not friendly with these fat fingers, but they're getting there. They're getting better. And
Trust me, man. I did IT work for like 14 years. I'm still trash with mouse and keyboard.
yeah, hey, I'm getting ready to go to IT school in October because
There you go.
I started off as a kid. My uncle and them had a mechanic shop. He got out the military as a first sergeant. He opened up his own shop, and that's all we did. It was across the street. He had these chow dogs, and I still can't forget it. These chows were vicious. Like the only people that could feed him was him. But then he'd be like, "Yo, go feed the dogs." I'm like, He's like, "Yeah, go give them this leftover food and all that." And they were mean chows. But the mechanic shop, we learned everything. We learned at a young age how to change oil and stuff like that. But I had another uncle. He was all into computers. So when the first IBM, Macintosh, all that stuff came out, he would always break all that stuff apart and just play with it. And then I used to get entertained. And I lost it all kind of when I got older because I got more into cars. But when I got into streaming, I started noticing like I got to start learning this stuff. Because if not, I'll be paying a lot of people and be pushing more money than keeping money. So I had to learn. And now I want to get more in the field. Plus, I want to get away from what I'm doing now and be more at home and maybe do stuff IT and stuff like that. So it's a great accomplishment, but
that's a big thing that like when I started, when I started streaming and doing all that, I never had anybody that was like, hey, this is how you set this up. Hey, this is how you do this and go about this. And this is what a XLR mic is versus a USB mic versus, whatever. And it's like, I never had anybody to give me that information. I had to trial, error, YouTube, Google, just get as many sources as possible to come up with a conclusion for myself. And that's a big thing I liked about Mixer too, is you can ask people those questions and 9 times out of 10, you'll get a legitimate response.
Exactly.
So I wanted to be that guy for people that didn't know what they were doing,
Yeah. And that's the kind of way I'm making myself also because like
100%.
I had a blue mic USB by a Blue Yeti, and I love that mic, believe it or not. But I knew there was more better mics out there. Talking with DZ and stuff like that. XLR was the way to go, and then I ran into the Gold XLR that was coming out. I think I was like the second people to get them. The second, because you know how you had a pre-order and everything.
Yep.
And my sound quality has become outstandingly better, and I love it. I mean, I don't have the soundproofing room or anything like that. I mean, I'm running with 3 monitors, but like we were talking about earlier, this stuff is. I didn't go out one day and just say, "Boom, here's my credit card." I made sure before I kept buying this or buying that this is what I wanted to do.
It's an investment.
It is an investment.
It's a big one.
Yes, it is. And guess what? When new stuff comes out, you want to try to be the first in line to get it.
Yep.
And you'll get no's. In this industry, you will get no's. And you got to be prepared for that. Wipe it off and keep going.
I've had plenty of them.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of them.
And when they tell you no, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up because you're just going to go back and work harder and then you go back to them again. How many was there the biggest no that you ever had that like you were just like, "Oh, I don't believe they just told me no. Like what do I have to do?" And then you went back and then they came back later on and were like, "Yes."
I think that has happened, but after I got a yes from them, I was already working with somebody else. I don't really want to throw any companies.
No, you don't. Yeah. Don't throw no names out there. We won't do none of that.
But there was a company that I had always used coming up, and I thought they were like the best thing on the market, and so on and so forth. And I started trying other things, and once I started trying other things, that's kind of when it worked out for me.
Yeah. And and that's one thing to say. There's
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. There's always companies out there that you'll hear yes and no's for. But when we go back to about being professionalism is the way to do it. You can't go
for sure.
You can't go back at them and be like, you don't know what you're missing. Blah blah blah. I am this. You're gonna remember my name because, and then when they remember your name, they just
bridge, bro.
Yeah.
Never burn a bridge.
Never burn a bridge because you never know where you're gonna meet them. And then they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're that guy. Yeah, we're good, man. Thanks for stopping by, though."
Not only that, you got to think about how this industry works too. So, you know, we got Brent. I'm gonna throw you under the bus real quick. You got Brent, who we work with and talk with and all this, and then next thing you know, somebody gets rejected and burns a bridge with him, right? And then next thing you know, he's now the influencer program leader for like Logitech. But you really wanted to work with them, and now you already burned that bridge.
Exactly. You never,
you know what I mean?
never.
Like,
know exactly what you mean.
You can't. You just can't, man. You know, you got to be professional, and that's the best word to describe all of it and to make sense of it. Is be professional in everything you do.
And even when you go to someone's stream, because believe it or not, there's some people in this industry that work for the companies, and they are partner streamers. They're partner streamers, or they know people, or.
I've had that happen.
And if you go and make yourself act a fool in their stream, and then that could cause problems down the road when you're trying to network. That's why it's always good to just, sometimes it's good to bite your tongue if you don't feel like you need to say something. Sure. Turn off your mic and just scream.
The first thing you need to do is go to Twitter and blast somebody. Just delete the app.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. I agree with you 100%, or have a personal one that no one knows who it is and can do what you do.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Frustrations out that way.
Yeah.
I was actually reading something that I thought was amazing. I think it was on Facebook or something like that, but essentially it was like, hey, if you're having a really bad day and you get that bad email, type it up, reread it, and delete it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's legit. Like, straight up, like, type out your reply, reread it because you're mad and you're angry and you're in your emotions and everything like that, and then delete that.
Because, and I agree with you 100%, because this entertainment world, you're live from wherever you're at, YouTube, Mixer, wherever you're at. And I know you're on YouTube, Mixer, Twitter, Instagram, any other platforms I might be missing at all, or...
No, that's mainly it. I mean, Mixer's my go-to for everything.
Well, I know you put your clips and stuff like that on your YouTube and stuff like that, of your moments and all that. But any of that stuff that you take and you say something wrong on there and you didn't catch it, or you post it, or it's on there, that could be a wrap for you. Your name could speak it all. Because let me ask you one more, another question.
Ask away, man. I'm here. I'm
having a great time right now. I think everybody in chat's enjoying it also. What do you feel about people rebranding? It's a tricky question, because I know you came from the BaileyBomb to KingBaileyBomb, and that was a rebrand, because you had to rebrand everything, redo this and redo that. But there's other people who do a whole 360.
Yeah.
What is your inputs on it? Because with me, I'm 50-50 sometimes. It depends on what the situation is.
For sure. And I think it depends on how established you are and how drastic of a change it is. So like for me, the BaileyBomb to KingBaileyBomb wasn't too hard. By the way, I was at 50,000 follows already when I did that. So it wasn't too hard because it's still BaileyBomb.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It went from TBB to KBB. Not too hard. So it wasn't like anything crazy, but I think rebrands for some people are 110% like well worth it.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is it changes your momentum. So if you're in a slump and you're just not feeling it anymore, it gives it new life, which I think is great. If anything, to get your passion back towards it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it be a rebrand or whatnot. And then I also think that rebranding can also give you an opportunity to reflect on what you want your channel to actually be about. So, some people also pick very unprofessional names when they start in the gaming world. So rebrands are usually pretty big on that because, a lot of people don't really want to sponsor somebody that, has something outlandish as a name.
Yeah.
Just because it looks bad on their end.
Yeah. Especially when that company tweets them out and their name's like crazy and they're like, oh.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
love
you
to
know
tweet
what I
you
mean?
out, but we are a company.
Right. So, and there's a huge thing about that too, like with what's professional, what's not going around right now. Um, because it's all about how you interpret something. So like I can say something to you, mean it one way, you can take it a different way, your chat takes it a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the big thing going around with like Dave Chappelle and everything right now is how he's too vulgar and this and that, and then everyone's like, well, maybe the audience is just too sensitive. And it's you could just take anything said and flip it to how you feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So I can say, Slayer, I think you're the best ever.
Oh, thank you.
And then somebody in chat could be like, well, he said I was the best ever, or you know what I mean? Or like,
Yeah.
I think I'm the best ever, so I'm now offended that you think he's the best ever. And it's just like, you could just, I mean, that's a poor example, but like, there's just so many different things that you could take and flip and make it something that it's totally not intended to be.
And I agree with you 100% because it's always how the person takes it. You might not mean it like that at all. But one thing people always,
no malicious intent whatsoever, but somehow it's altered,
I mean, I seen it with people before. I mean, I sat down with people before and I DM'd them. I didn't mean it that way if you thought I did. And a grown-up conversation works out, but there's some people who take it to another level and there's just no talking to them, and you're just like, well, good being friends with you, bud. Just, if you need to hit me up.
That's the difficult part of doing everything live.
Yeah.
It's sometimes you just say a thought that's in your head and don't mean it whatsoever of how somebody else took it. You know what I mean? And I think that's another thing that content creators don't really think about is like you have to break it down to the point of where everybody interprets it the same way.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to do because you'll never fully get it. Never, ever. You will never be able to, please everybody in the audience.
That's the words I was about to say. You're not going to be able to please everybody.
Right. And it's just, it's something crazy that I've been thinking a lot about too. There's the obvious things that, you see on the internet where they say something and you're like, okay, he may not have meant it that way, but he said that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, no, he didn't.
Yeah, there's just some stuff you don't say. But again, it's all interpretation, and we do our best to kind of tie back into the companies and the rebrands and everything. It's something that you put as your name when you're 16 years old might not be the same anymore when you're 30.
Exactly. And that's just comes with growing up.
Yeah.
That was because
I think rebrands on a lot of different levels are well worth it.
Well, I mean, like, you talking about growing up, you had a wild side. I had a wild side too. And believe it or not, joining the military, going to Iraq when I was 18 years old and seeing things that I seen, I grew up quick. Real quick. And and a lot of military vets out there probably could say the same thing too. From boot camp to wherever they went overseas, you grew up quick. And no matter what happened to you in real life, something happens or you're realizing like, yo, I gotta grow up. I got a nephew now that, he's gone through things and things like that too. And I feel like now he's finally grown up. Like, hey, I got to finish school. This is my last year. I need to go ahead and get it over with. And then after that, I'm free, Yeah. And he's into gaming. He loves all that too. And I told him, I said, I'll help you stream. But my first goal for you is get in the books, man. Finish that school. I got Cam Gaming. He streams here on Mixer. New guy. Small guy. Streams straight from the Xbox. Finally got his Elgato and everything. And I told him, I said, pursue what you want to pursue, man. But I'm a father. I'm a husband. I have a child. All I ask from you, and I'll show you all the love, but all I ask is stay in the books. At least make sure you get your grades in school. Do what you do. And after that, after you're done with your homework, you pass your test, get on there and stream your ass off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, true. And his brother's actually one of my mods. And his mom comes in here all the time. And she's like, yo, preach it. And it's true. I mean, no matter where you're at, I don't care if you're in college, your master's degree, high school, wherever you're at, before you get into this game and everything, still have fun and everything like that, but make sure you get in them books, because I'm not the best writer ever. When I write emails, I have to reread them about 3 or 4 times before I know, like, yo, does this make sense? I'm not the best writer ever, but I mean, you have to think about it like that. Yeah, and then I have Jess Von B. Jess Von B, he comes through all the time, so I'm like, yo, reread this for me. Does this sound right? And I want to give shout outs to Jess Von B. He made this whole logo behind us right here, the Slayer's Corner with the future guests underneath. He helped me out yesterday all night trying to get everything together and make sure it was perfect for the king to come in here.
That's what's up. You know, kind of going back to that with the books and all that. Just streaming in general, man. Like, a lot of people think just because they start streaming that they have to be a full-time content creator right away, and that they have to, you know, dedicate 40 hours a week to it and this and that. And it's like, don't, man. Like, go at your pace, you know? And there's this weird stigma of, like, and I get it, it's a grind. We do it. We all do it every day.
Yep.
But, like, just don't make that the main focus is I have to grind, because it's just not true. It's unhealthy,
and you're gonna lose the fun of gaming.
Yeah, man. And you burn out. Trust me. I thought, because, you know, a lot of people that play personalities and they're someone totally different off cam than they are on cam, I'm always like, they're gonna burn out so fast. And me being me and being myself on camera, I still burnt out a lot faster than I thought I would.
I mean, to be honest, I have burned out too. I mean, even when my mod said it too, I went in there and I was like, yo, I'm just about to shut everything down. I'm done. I'm done. Yeah. And I took a breather, and believe it or not, between my mods and my wife too, she's like, you like doing what you do, right? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, keep it going. Take your break. Let's go on vacation. So we'll go on a vacation. We'll go on a cruise or something. I'm like, yo, a whole week, no phone, no nothing, just my family and me, and just re-energize myself, because it's not just the streaming that gets us down. It's the life of what we work too. And I agree with you 100%, because I've seen people saying, I'm gonna quit my job and become a full-time streamer. Nah, bro. No. You better rethink this, because this doesn't happen overnight. It does not happen overnight. It does not happen overnight.
In a year. You know, it takes, like I said, I literally have done this on Mixer now for 3 years just to get to where I am.
Yeah.
And it is full time for me. You know, this is my only source of, you know, income, if you will. But don't burn yourself out, man, because it hurts. You know, you start rethinking everything. You get in this super depressive state. And it's overall just bad, you know? So if you are going to school and you're trying to become a streamer and you're trying to do this and trying to do that, take time, man. You know, you don't need to put in 12 hours a day every day just because, you know, Ninja does it or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's very well established. He knows what he's doing.
And he takes breaks too now, just because. Yeah. If you guys don't know, I mean, you see, Ninja's a big streamer. Love him having here on Mixer. Welcome to Mixer, Ninja. If I have never told you, welcome to Mixer. We love having you here. But him as a big time streamer, I mean, 11,000, 15,000 views. I'm sure he gets burned out. He's like, yo, babe, I got to take a week off or take a couple days off and read, you know, just go woosah. Like, he's doing the bad boy. You know what I mean?
That was a big part of the move to Mixer as well. I really do. So he can actually breathe.
Yeah. And I think I was watching, I read one of his Twitters one day. It felt so good for him. He went to go see his family somewhere else. He flew there and all that. He's like, yo, it felt so good to see family. Haven't seen him in a while. Because, I mean, the grind is real, because he's there. Got to keep, it's his business. It's a business. So it's a business, something you like to do. And believe it or not, I know we talk about Ninja, but I think it was 9 years before he actually hit it big, right?
Yep.
If I'm saying right. So that's why I'm saying it doesn't happen overnight.
No, not at all.
I mean,
and like I said, even just to make it full time, because a lot of people ask me, they're like, well, when did you go full time? But like, everybody's different. It don't matter. Like,
it doesn't.
It doesn't matter when I made it full time, because when I hit a milestone and you hit a milestone, we're at still completely different parts of our journey.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly
so like,
what
just
you mean.
because 10,000 follows to me to 10,000 follows to you, we could have been in two different places. You could have been 10 times more established than I was at 10,000 followers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, when people ask those kinds of questions, it's like, you just know. Like, you know when you're ready to make that next step. You know?
Yeah.
And it is. Sometimes it's a leap, though. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it was wild. Like, I never in a million years thought it would happen the way it happened. Like, I went to work one day, and being 24-hour IT, it was kind of like, show up by like 10 a.m. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
So I showed up literally like right before 10 a.m. and he was like, my boss was like, where have you been? Like, what the hell is going on? You didn't get any emails or phone calls or texts? And I was like, no. Like, literally, we worked all night last night. I slept in a little bit, didn't get any calls or anything. Otherwise, I would have went. He's like, my phone's been blowing up, blah, blah, blah. He's like, why don't you go home and think about why you want to work here? And mind you, I was on salary. So he was like, and it's unpaid. So I just kind of looked at him and I was like, I don't want to work here. So today's my last day. And I just jumped full time into streaming.
And you just went with it.
So, and again, I was at like 10,000, 12,000 follows, something like that. And it was just I saw what I was pulling in and what I was doing numbers wise and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, if I'm giving it this much effort and this is what I'm getting, if I give it all my effort, then hopefully I can make up for it.
Now, who's been your mentor? Has there been a mentor that's stuck with you all your life, or is there one now that still sticks with you? Or
I've had people that I've worked with that I've bounced ideas off of, but I've never really had anybody that's like, hey, Bailey, this is what you should do.
Or is there somebody that you're like, I love the way he does it? And
so when I first started streaming, I never watched streams. I never understood it.
Okay.
I never. So the reason I got into it again was I used to play these video games, right? And my roommate used to sit behind me in a chair and watch me play all night. And I was like, I could not comprehend it. I was like, why are you watching me play this game when you can easily just go into your room, jump on your Xbox, play with me, and it was mind-blowing to me. And
was he breathing on your neck like?
This was like 5-6 years ago. And I'm like, I don't get it. And like, I'd walk into the living room and he's on his phone watching a YouTuber play Call of Duty. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And he's like, well, he's better than me and he's pretty funny. He's like, why do you think I sit there and watch you all night? Because you're way better than me and you're funny. And I was like, okay. All right, so you want me to put my stuff on YouTube? And he's like, yep. So that was part of it too. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like it's just a really weird thing. Like when, like I said, you know when you know. So like I was working with his name used to be Forkits. He changed. He's had a couple rebrands. His name's Decayed Dodo now. He still runs around Mixer. He's a partner streamer, and he was one of the first people that I actually sat down and really like, I guess, broke apart like his stream. And it was the first time I ever analyzed a stream in a way of like, okay, he's doing this because of this, or he did that because of that. But before that, I'd never watched streams or anything. I just was me.
So you just learned on the go, pretty much.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, there's people, you know, that I used to watch in the mornings on Beam when I was at work. Like Navajo, I used to watch him all the time. A partner streamer as well. The Jammy, he's a partner streamer as well. You know, there was a couple dudes that I used to just watch every morning. and then I would watch Forkits and BoDaddy at night. And this is after I was already streaming and doing all that, you know what I mean? But I would just do it for the entertainment. It was never like, hey, I really love the way they do this and I want to like make it mine.
Yeah.
Which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I try to explain that to people all the time. I have a total different take on that. Like, people come in and they're like, yo, you got those green lights behind you. I like those. And I'm like, all right, well, here's the link to them. Here's how you set them up, and here's how you do it. I'm never like, yo, why are you copying my style? Why are you stealing my stream? Why are you?
Yeah.
That's wrong. That is straight up wrong. I don't care who you are. That is wrong.
Yeah, because
like, we're here being influencers.
Mm-hmm.
If they are influenced by what you are doing, you're doing your job correct.
Exactly.
Period.
I wish we did have that thing like Amazon, like Twitch has with the Amazon thing, that we can be like, okay, this is my whole thing. If you want it, boom, 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 there you go.
For sure.
I wish we had something like that.
I created an Amazon, like they have an idea list.
Yeah.
That you can do, and I have an idea list. If you just click on that, it shows you my whole setup. I broke it down into like computers. I actually have a section for main gear.
Ooh.
I got but I have a section for everything that I use. You know, here's my lighting and green screen. Here's my audio. Here's my, you know, everything. So there's an idea list for each single one that I have. And people just click on it and they can browse through and see how much it costs and when it goes on sale and when, you know what I mean?
And that's what makes you amazing, man. And that's what I'm saying. That's what that's what makes you amazing right there. Because I'm the same way. Me, I have a green screen behind me. But I went into the XSplit program and they got this new thing called V-Split, and it takes your webcam and it puts this background like I got behind me, and it does whatever you want, and I love it. I mean, I'm not knocking no other things, no Streamlabs, no OBS. It just, OBS wasn't working for me. I love OBS, but it wasn't working for me. I tried XSplit about a couple weeks ago, and so far, it's working for me. So everybody has their own, but I'm going to tell you one thing. If you guys go into streaming, I recommend first you do OBS or Streamlabs. Do you have to pay for now?
Oh, I don't know. I don't. But I'm also partnered with them. So
okay, see, so yeah, you're partnered with Streamlabs. So I'm not too sure, but either way, OBS or Streamlabs OBS. Those are the two recommendations I will always give somebody when you first start out. And then if you want to move more complex and more stuff, and then yeah, you got other programs that you pay for. It's like anything else. The free stuff, you got so many things, and then you know, stuff you pay for, you get a little bit more extra stuff. That's just comes with any kind of it comes with any kind of subscription. Just like here on Mixer, if you're a pro member, you get this. If you're a sub, you get this. If you're not, you get this.
Yeah, you get no ads, people.
Yeah, none.
Or you could just sub to your favorite partner streamer and not get ads in their channel, you know.
Oh, okay. Right, so someone just said Streamlabs is still free. So there we go. And Streamlabs you can use on mobile too. So,
yeah, I use the Streamlabs mobile app for IRL streams.
Yeah, and it works good for like people who go to the Microsoft store, because one thing with Mixer guys, you're able to go talk to Microsoft stores and join their tournaments and be like, hey, can I stream here? And they're gonna be like, yeah. You just gotta bring your little stuff or whatever you need for streaming.
I'm putting together an IRL backpack, and the Streamlabs app works perfect on my phone.
Oh, wow. If you ever need help with that, I know DZ has an IRL backpack, too, if you ever have questions on that.
Yes, sir. I'm making a main gear backpack right now with it. So.
Ooh, yeah, let's talk about that backpack. What do you think about that thing, son? Beautiful, ain't it?
So, I'm not even going to front. I've only seen the pictures. I have one in a box right now that I haven't opened yet because I want to open it live.
Ooh. So, well, we need
in a box right now.
I
literally have not even touched it yet.
Make sure you follow his Twitter, his Instagram. He will post when he is gonna open this thing live.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm in love. I have a military backpack that I had. It's about 15 years old. That's the one I use for air. It's a big backpack because it can turn into a rucksack, a whole bunch of stuff. But I always put my computer in there, and it just has straps inside, so the computer still flops. I took this backpack. I put my daughter's tablet in it. I put my computer in it. It has a little port you can put your charger and bring your phone out of it. Oh, you haven't even opened it, so I don't even want to tell you the spoiler. Well, oh my God, you haven't even opened it. I mean, it's amazing. It is amazing. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And for what I've seen from the pictures and the the releases already and everything, even I've even seen people on Twitter being like, what is it? I'm at Micro Center looking at these backpacks for main gear, and I'm like, damn, they see them before I even open mine.
I mean, I don't have a Micro Center near me.
Functionality I need to make this IRL backpack. So
I everything in that backpack, I think it'll make it happen. I think I'm 100% sure that backpack will make that happen. And it's very durable. I mean, I feel like if a pit bull chases you and grabs it, he's going along for the ride. He's not ripping it. He's not ripping that backpack. I don't know if you saw what's his name? I can't remember, but he posted on Twitter where he put his kid in the backpack, and his daughter was like, "No, you can't put him there." So he grabs his little kid, he grabs his other little kids and put it in the backpack. I was rolling. Yeah, Jay Viper. He posted it on there. I was rolling.
That's funny.
I was laughing. I was like, "Yo, man, gear, y'all need to put that as a commercial." That was hilarious. Yeah, I don't have a Micro Center nowhere near me. I wish I did, because there's so many things that Main Gear has at Micro Center that's amazing.
I think I got one out near Boston, maybe, but I'm not sure on that.
Are you in the States or?
Yeah, I'm in Massachusetts. I'm like an hour and a half, hour-ish from Boston.
Oh man, you're not. Yeah, I'm in North Carolina, so we ain't too far from each other. About an 8-hour drive or so.
I've driven to North Carolina a couple times.
Oh yeah, what parts?
I went to Charlotte both times.
Oh, Party City. Yeah, go Panthers. Y'all better start winning.
I mean, the Patriots.
Yo, talking about that. They demolished Miami. I hope.
Yeah, but who isn't demolishing Miami?
I know it is the Dolphins, but I'm just saying. I mean, they should at least let them boys get a field goal or something. I was like,
bro, I said the same thing. Everyone was like, yo, they played against the Dolphins. It's not like it's hard putting up a score. I was like, it's not the fact that they put up a high score. It's the fact that they stopped a score, period.
Yeah.
I mean, Miami played an entire game and didn't get a point. Nothing.
I think the only time Brady will ever retire is when Brady starts losing.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time I will see. Believe it or not, shout out Tom Brady. I'm not a Patriots fan, but you guys are a good team. I'm going to call it like it is. And Brady, you're an amazing quarterback. So.
And not even football, like, because I don't really care too much about football, but he's just a huge inspiration overall.
Oh yeah, I know you're a big NHL player though, because I remember when I first met you, you were like, "Get him into the wall."
Yeah, I just started playing NHL again, like 3 nights ago when they just dropped that new one. So I stopped playing NHL for like 2 years. And now I'm jumping back on it.
Well, that's good, because I know that made you smile a lot, because you love the hit. It's like, ooh, got him, son.
Yeah, my character's name was Sweet Cheeks. So I used to just smack people against the boards and just talk mad smack. So miss it.
So I know on your streams all the time, you always had that backpack, your Dora Explorer. Yep. So, what brought Dora? Because I know me and my wife and the family, we want to go see the Dora movie. But what? Because I loved it. I was like, this troll. Man.
It was a troll. I've had that backpack thing as my host notification literally since I first started streaming, period. And we used to play Rainbow Six Siege. And essentially... one of our friends, we used to always tell him that we were backpacking him because we played with him every night, but he just never did anything. Like, just never got a kill, never anything. So we used to always sing Backpack to him all the time. And we put together like a little video of like the door of the backpack, doing it or whatever, to the version that I have. And we used to just send it to him all the time as his troll. And for 4 years, it stuck. So and honestly, I've been debating changing it recently.
No, I made my recommendation. I say no, because that's how I met you.
That's what everybody says, bro. And it's like, but like, if you hear that for like 4 years, you're like,
yeah, you're like, I'm not gonna lie, like my stream too, I turn off all my sounds now to my host and follows and stuff, because sometimes I'm playing a game, I'm like trying to hear footsteps, and then you hear the sound, and you're like, oh, and then boom, you get shot. Yep. Especially on like shooter games and stuff like that. You know, everybody wants to hear them footsteps and stuff like that.
Well, and the reason, because I used to have that laser beam song for every follower, but like when I was getting featured and things like that, it was like, you know, a couple hundred follows a stream.
Yeah.
So if you hear a 10 to 15 second sound clip a couple hundred times in a 4-hour stream, you're like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, you get a headache.
Know? So I started changing it up a little bit, and the backpack thing has just always been an inside joke between me and my, you know, like first set of gaming buddies and everything. So it was just something that stuck, you know, and I don't know, it's been good though. It played out very well, because I didn't realize that all these VR games and stuff are coming out that you need backpacks, and you know, so now whenever like people are playing PUBG or whatever, they're like, I need a backpack. Like, oh my God, Bailey, you know? So it worked out pretty well.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's been amazing having you today on the podcast, and I'm hope we're able to do this again.
Anytime, bro.
Because I believe this has reached out to a lot of people. And guys, I'm going to be opening a brand new YouTube. So if you guys haven't seen this, make sure you guys check out the YouTube. Post it on Discord or stuff like that. Make sure you sub and go through. Make sure you guys subscribe also to KingBaileyBomb's YouTube. Make sure you follow him on his Mixer, Instagram, Twitter. Show him all the love and support. Remember, guys, we're here for you guys if y'all need anything. King, you have anything else?
The best advice I ever received was from a random YouTube comment. Talk to the camera like it's your best friend. That's it.
And I got one advice to add too. Never change the way you are. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself, and a lot of people will like you more.
Yup, that's big.
All right, guys. Well, thank you again. See you guys in a little bit. We're going to stop this, and appreciate all the love, and hope you guys all have a good day.
Thank you for having me, man.
No, thank you for being here.